Yes. Hello. My name is Vaden Chandler. V like Valentine's Day. AdenChandler. And I am the author of several books on Amazon and other places online, including the titles A Little Bird Told Me, Absalom's Folly, and Solomon's Pen. See? You see my tattoos? See? I also got praying hands. See? Yep. All right, and I'm doing this video to answer some questions for Jacob Lenhoff. The first question is, where did you grow up? Well, I grew up in a little town called Springfield, Colorado. It's located on Highway 287, and it's on the way to Lamar, Colorado, Pueblo, Colorado, and Denver, Colorado. It's not really in the mountains. It's more kind of in the boring flat part of Colorado. All right. Question number two. When did you discover you wanted to be a writer? Well, I've always kind of had that talent. Um, and the teachers back in school, they always kind of noticed it. Um, I've been writing, I've been telling stories. Oh my goodness, ever since I was 6 years old, I've been writing. I just I'm 43 now, and I've been writing in some way, shape, or form my whole entire life. Even 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 when I wasn't writing, I was writing because I I have a bachelor's degree in education and I have a master's degree in divinity. And the whole reason I got those degrees is because I was good at writing the term papers. Yep. All right. So question three: what was the first book you ever wrote, and show us a copy and tell us the plot? Well, like I said, the first book I ever wrote was a little piece called A Little Bird Told Me. I don't have a copy of it, but I have a picture of it on my cell phone. Let me get it right here. See? If it's showing up that well or not. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully it showed up. But yeah, anyway. Yep. A Little Bird Told Me is what it was called. And the plot is kind of edgy. It's kind of gripping. It's kind of it's kind of tough. It's about it's about this man, and he's really mad at the world, and he's a registered sex offender, and he wants to get even. He wants to do something really bad, and he lives in Denver, and he's gonna drive to a small town, and he's going to stalk a local park, and he's gonna try to kidnap somebody, and that's how he's gonna get even. But but at the last minute, a small town idiot stops him, and this book was based on true events because I I was I was that small town idiot. And the book is based off of an event that happened to me on Labor Day 2015. And at that time I was only writing articles, and I was working on a site called Text Broker, and I was taking breaks and walking back and forth to my local park. And this town that I grew up in maybe has about 1,500 people, It doesn't have very much. It doesn't have very many people. So I would walk back and forth to this park, and I kept seeing this van there. And the first time I saw the van, it was 12:30. My next break was 2, and the van was still there. My third break, it was 4:30, and the van was still sitting in the same spot at that park. Okay, so now I'm starting to get nervous because he's sitting there and he's on the street, and across from that street there's an elementary school, and so I'm getting a little bit nervous. I don't know what the guy's doing. I don't know why he's there. I don't know what's going on. But I don't do anything at the time. I go back home and I do some more work. Well, I took my last break for that day on at 6:30, and I remember thinking, as clear as a bell, I remember thinking, surely that van is not going to be there any longer. Surely the person's moved on. It was probably just somebody sleeping or, something like that, somebody taking a rest. Well, as the clearing came into view, the van was still there. He was still there. So I really wasn't sure what to do. And I'm not really the type to be a busybody, but I was walking back from the park for the last time that day. And as I made it about halfway home, I was on the sidewalk of the high school. And it's a very long sidewalk. It's the size of our football field. And as I got halfway down that sidewalk, I don't want to say it was an audible voice, but it was an inner voice. It was like, Vaden, I want you to call the police on that van. And I didn't listen. I didn't want to bother the guy. I didn't want to harass him or anything like that. So I took a few more steps. Well, the voice came back louder. Vaden, call the police on that van. So I did. I did. And as I'm sitting there listening to my father's police scanner, he was at the hospital taking care of my mother, who had Alzheimer's at the time. As I was sitting there, lo and behold, come to find out the man was a registered sexual offender from Denver, Colorado. So I really do believe that he was trying to abduct a child that day. And so I wrote a book about that. The book is based off of that. It's inspired by true events and it's based off of that. All right, question 4. How long did it take to write the book from first thought submission to submission for publication? The book took me a long time to write because I've always kind of fought this writing talent for quite a while. It took me about 5 years to write it, roughly. And it wasn't so much that I couldn't write it. It wasn't so much that I had writer's block. I just kept playing with it, and I kept having second thoughts and and different things. But I finally finished it, and I finally got it done. It was in September of 2022 that I finished it. Yep. All right. So question 5. What subjects do you like to write about the most? I kind of like to write about suspense novels. That's kind of what I like to write. But I like to put a heartwarming twist at the end. So it's kind of like Stephen King meets Touched by an Angel. It always has a good ending. There's always some redemption at the end of the novel. That's kind of the way I like to do it. All right, so now question 6. Do publish do publishing companies make any suggestions about how to make a book better? Yes, at times, occasionally they do. Um, if you if you publish a book traditionally, usually you have to go through an agent, and usually sure, they take a little bit longer than a self-publisher, a self-publishing company, and they usually handle all the editing for you. They design the cover, different things like that. The way I did it is I kind of self-published my work, and in that case, and I would not recommend this, but you can either do your own editing, which I did because I'm on a fixed income, or you can hire an editor. They usually charge about anywhere from $200 to $700. It's a little bit high, but some people do it that way, and I would recommend it if you can. Also, I would recommend hiring someone to do your own cover, and you can do that on Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. But I would like to thank Mr. Lenhoff for this opportunity, and yep, you all have a nice day. Thank you.